Well, as Arsenal is making Declan Rice their marquee signing, then Liverpool has also shown interest. Chelsea also interested. Manchester United is also trying to weigh in who is really going to come in through into that central midfield position. And now there is the bidding war expected in the summer between Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Now, we all know how important the midfield is because games of football are lost and won in the midfield. And we're talking about Sadio Mane complimenting his manager at Bayern Munich as how he was so much important in his struggle throughout the injury. Remember, he got injured towards the World Cup and he has spent close to 3-4 months of no return and returned, and he might play next week again PSG in the Allianz Arena. Now, we are also talking about Choupo-Moting, some little of Bayern Munich news. New contract given to him of close to 4 years, and he's going to be kept at the club for the next 3-4 years. Now, let's start with Declan Rice, a player that plays for West Ham, left with just 2 years on his contract. And we've been told by Grammy Bailey for the Team Talk that Liverpool are interested in Declan Rice but are likely to prioritize other midfield targets instead. With Jude Bellingham the priority, the Reds won't go for both. Now, I understand that Liverpool are really loving Jude Bellingham, but Declan Rice, I think he's the one who will come in and really glue up that team better in the midfield, because Fabinho looks like he has really lost all his grip of the player he was way back. Fabinho was one of the best CDMs in the world, but it looks like has gone ahead to lose himself. And teams like Madrid are really looking in for him to come up and act like a backup for Choupo-Moting in the summer. So this season, he has been too off to an extent that Liverpool brought in Budgetic, an 18-year-old, to play into that position, and it looks like he has taken over Fabinho. That shows you how worse Fabinho is this season. How can that 18-year-old boy come in through a teenager and get you out of the team? I don't know what's wrong with him. People are really coming out and saying that he has played very many games, but I've seen Casemiro, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos play very many games for Real Madrid for the last 3 years, 3, 4, 5 years. And they've participated in every competition, and they've not won out. They've not won out, not even for a second. There is something happening at Liverpool that people don't want to reveal to us. That's it. There is something happening at Liverpool that some players are really hiding, and I believe Jurgen Klopp knows it, that there are some players that are toxic there that he needs to get out. The situation has not yet hit the media, but when you look at the body language of the players of Liverpool on the field, it shows you that off the pitch, there are things that are not really going on well. That's it. To me, I believe that's the case. And that's why you saw it that even Sadio Mane left. Sadio Mane never left for footballing decisions, though he gave a reason that the reason as to why he left Liverpool was because his countrymen, all nationals, told him that you are not respected at Liverpool, go to a team where you're going to be respected. I think that wasn't the case. The case was simple, that in the dressing room, there were cocoons that are really developing, and the situation was not going to be solved very soon. That's why he left. The coming in of Luis Diaz wouldn't have affected him because he had made his map at Liverpool and his ground was laid, history set, scored goals, intensity applied. That is Sadio Mane for you. So I believe Declan Rice to me will be a better player than Jude Bellingham. I think Liverpool needs more a central defensive midfielder than a box-to-box midfielder like Jude Bellingham. He won't solve the problems of a CDM at Liverpool, unless otherwise Jurgen Klopp has weighed in on Budgetic, and he thinks that this season is really going to be good for him to really help him become one of the best CDMs in the world for Liverpool. Because if you are an 18-year-old player and a team like Liverpool is to depend on you for the next seasons, then that means you are that good and the manager's gone ahead to really trust you. But I've seen him, he's good at the holder play, press resistant, but his final decision in the game of Real Madrid, that showed me that he's still lacking. He's a very talented player, but you need a proven player into that position. Unless otherwise, Liverpool is ready to go on the building road for the next years. That's why they don't need Declan Rice. But if at all they want to hit the ground running next season, they need an inclusion of Declan Rice, Caicedo, Sofiane Amrabat, one of those players to come into that midfield position and really play very well. And ask myself, where were they in the January transfer window when Jorginho was going to Arsenal? I think they would have been the first team to go in for Jorginho, because Arthur Melo, who was bought in from Juventus on loan, is experiencing injuries after injuries, not here to do anything possible for them. So Declan Rice, Liverpool are really eyeing for him, but they are saying Jude Bellingham is a priority. And I believe they need these two players. If they are to bring in Declan Rice, they should also bring Bellingham. If you are to bring in Bellingham, Declan Rice is also another player that is needed by this club of Liverpool. Then after, we are having a story coming in from Bayern Munich. Sadio Mane returning from injury has gone ahead and really hailed his manager, that is Nagelsmann, during the injury. Said the coach was one of the biggest supporters of my transfer. Was one of the biggest supporters of my transfer. He texted me very, very often. How are you doing? When will you be back? A good relationship with the players is important to Julian. So the coach kept throwing in those messages to him that, please, when are you going to be okay? When are you returning back here? And obviously he motivated his return and activated it, and he knew that he was needed at the club more than anyone else. So Sadio Mane believes that the relationship between him and the manager, Nagelsmann, is one of those that has really pushed him hard to return, and he's back onto the pitch, and he got to miss out of the World Cup, and I think Senegal missed him out on a lot, but obviously he has found himself in a position of doing the needful for the club of Bayern Munich, and he wants to win the Champions League for them. That is Sadio Mane, a player that I really love a lot, African, and he's really making us great there. So we expectant to see him in the Champions League return leg against PSG. These are games as to why he was signed, and he needs to come out and really put his stamp onto this game. The other player of Bayern Munich that has really seen himself secure his future at Bayern is known as Choupo-Moting, the Cameroonian international. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed to us via Platigol that this lad has been given a new contract. FC Bayern Munich have reached full agreement with Eric Choupo-Moting to extend the contract for one more season. It was a top priority since November, and it's now done, confirmed. New deal valid until 2024. Perez guaranteed for the striker, as called by Platigol from Germany. When we look at Choupo-Moting, he's a very good striker. I saw him at the World Cup, and even at Bayern, he's really ice cold. If I told you, see him play that game of football, and he's one of those that you would love to see coming through, do the needful for the club of Bayern Munich, because he was nearing leaving Bayern in the January transfer window, and because they never had plenty of options of strikers, they said this one is going nowhere, and United was said to be one of those teams that was looking up for him, and he really came in through to do the needful for the club of Manchester, for the club of Bayern. They kept him, and they know he can come up and really lead the line, because when you look at Bayern, ever since Lewandowski left, they are really lacking what we call a player who is really good at doing that beautiful game of football, of really that beautiful role of really scoring in goals left, right, and center, and that is the work of Choupo-Moting at a side known as Bayern Munich. They want him to really take them through this season such that Bayern Munich finds themselves a striker. They are eyeing Harry Kane and very many other strikers. I've seen them talking about Rashford, João Felix, and very many other strikers. So let's wait and see how that is going to go at a side known as Bayern Munich, but they are trying to tie players on long contracts to find them in positions of really winning more and more and more. So as it stands, that's it for now. This is Rokani David on the Rokani Media Football. We've talked about Liverpool's interest in Declan Rice. What are your thoughts about it? Then Sadio Mane commending his manager, known as Nagelsmann, for being there for him every time he really came in through and wanted to really be cared about. Every person in life wants care. And lastly, Choupo-Moting being extended his contract at Bayern Munich until 2024. May the Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. I think we'll return with the match reaction of Arsenal. But as we speak, Arsenal is leading by 2-0 against a side known as Everton. They need this win. It looks like they've bagged it already. And they are going to do the need and will win the beautiful game of football. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. A sign out for now. See you later, my lovely, lovely mates.